Next up we have our candle. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a backup of this. So right click, duplicate this collection, and then I'm going to go through and rename this and assign our checkerboard shader. So you can see here we do got some UVs going on, but we're going to want to tweak these a little bit because they're going to be stretchy and they got some warping. We got some seams going on. So we'll just jump straight into UV editing. And you'll notice that this is really, really dense. And traditionally, when you sculpt, what you want to do is you want to apply your UVs a couple subdivisions iterations before. I deliberately didn't do that so I can show you guys this technique. But basically, if we wanted to unsubdivide this, all we have to do is right click, unsubdivide. And that'll basically get it down to something a little bit more manageable. You will lose some resolution detail, but generally for this example, that'll be okay. But I'm going to go ahead and just do the UV unwrap. Just know that it's going to be a little bit slow on this one. So I'm going to select an edge loop there, and then, so select the edge loop there, and then UV mark seam, and then select everything, UV unwrap. And this is the part where, you know, your Blender might hang up a little bit. Just be patient with it. There's no loading bar or anything that's going to go on. So it might take, you know, this one is only a couple seconds, but yours might, if you're on a slower computer, it might take a few minutes. So that's looking pretty good. We do have one seam that's kind of going down the middle, but in this specific case, we're just going to let that go. And then we have our wick that's going to be in the middle. So this one, you know, this is still a spline object if we look at this. So we need to actually convert this over to a mesh. So right click and convert. And then we'll go ahead and jump into UV editing mode, and I'll go ahead and mark a seam right down here. And then mark seam, select everything, UV unwrap. And at this point, you know, this is going to be totally fine. This thing is going to be so small in the frame, but if we wanted to go the extra mile, we can simply just snap to the grid and make it square, and then simply do a pack islands. And there we go. And then in the next chapter, we'll move on to the window.